I don't want to sound weird, guy, but, I mean, you're just fastly becoming my very best friend, dude.
Best friends are very cool to be.
Very best friends are dope to be.
What are you doing this weekend?
Me? I need to check my Palm Pilot, but I think I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
TBTL. We're doing okay. Folks, I gotta admit, Bill Maher smoked me up again. I'm pretty deep in a couch right now. For the love of the flying spaghetti monster, donate before it's too late. Richard Dreyfuss out.
Everybody calls it garbage. Most people call it a problem. We call it our challenge.
What kind of friend are you?
I'm a cool friend. What kind of friend are you?
I'm somewhat disappointing, but I have a good heart.
Are you a connoisseur of art?
I had a painted turtle when I was a kid.
Are you seriously detaining me again? Am I being rendered?
No, you're being friendered. So just please accept our compulsory hospitality.
Well, hello, all right, good morning, and welcome everyone to a Tuesday edition of TBTL, the show that just might be too beautiful to live.
It's an audiophile's nightmare.
My name's Luke Burbank. I'm your host.
Say hello to my little friend, Luke Burbank, on TBTL.net.
Coming to you, once again, from beautiful downtown Friendship, Wisconsin.
Now you have a friend in the diamond business.
Courtesy of the Adams County Historical Society, right here on Main Street. We've done it, folks. We've made it to episode 4,515 in a collector series.
Let the fun begin.
And we are here, of course, as part of the TBTL-a-Thon 16, banding together. It's day 2 of this year's Thon.
132, 33, 30.
It's that one time a year where we get together with you, the tens of listeners, to, I guess, gently and sometimes not so gently remind you that this whole thing is 100% listener supported. And, well, we need your support to keep it going. So we appreciate everybody who's been able to do that so far, and also everyone who will be checking in throughout the week. One of the ways that you can check in with us is by giving us a ring. That's right, the phone lines are open. 206-414-TBTL.
Ahoy, hoy.
206-414-8285. We've also got Friendship in the News once again.
Can you verify? Can you give me some 411?
What is the cutoff in terms of time? In terms of late night hours of the night, where you would not go pick your friend up from the airport? That is the question based on a real scenario. And I'm also going to be honest with you. I wonder if it's a real scenario. It's by way of People magazine. So play the bunk journalism sound effect in your mind right now. Speaking of what may have been bunk journalism, I was talking about my dear mother, Susie Burbank, yesterday on the show.
I say, what's up, dog?
And I guess she was listening, because she would like to correct the record. Yes, Susie Burbank has logged on and would like to make sure that I am accurately representing her, so we'll do that as well today on the show. Lots to do, but we can't get started before we say hello to this guy, longest-running co-bro of the show, maybe best known for his depictions of the tall ships. It's so fitting that we're talking about friendship so much this week, because he is a dear friend of mine.
You know what I've found over the years is that the facts are your friends.
He's Andrew Walsh. He's joining me right now. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Luke. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit down today.
Que paso?
I'm okay. I just, as I think you know, I lost the Wisconsin 106 Breakfast with Bob Question to Ponder contest this morning, and I thought I had it in the bag.
It's not how many times you get knocked down, Andrew. It's
I know.
How many times you get back up.
I know.
And then tune into the local radio here, and then email them your answer to their "What are you pondering?" question.
Question to ponder of
question
the day.
To ponder.
I was trying to win tickets to the Adams County Fair this morning, and I did not win those tickets.
Let's enlighten the TBTL listeners on what the question was this morning on the local radio station, what the question to ponder was.
The question was, according to a recent study, what should you do 20 to 30 minutes before you go to bed?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I had this in the bag. I was like, I thought my only issue was going to be not being the first person to get there with the right answer, because obviously the right answer is you turn off your phone.
That is what we have all been trained to believe. That is also what I thought the answer was.
Yes.
And John, would that have been your answer? Oh, by the way, guess who's also here? TBTL employee numero uno and verified non-headphone haver. John Sklarf, it's the last day, my friend, that you won't have headphones. They are on the way. They should be here. They might even be arriving at the Airbnb as we speak. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, it's great to be here. Yeah, no, I appreciate you fixing my headphone situation by tomorrow. Some folks in the comments are very concerned, so
yes.
I'll be joining you guys in the land of the hearing, I guess, tomorrow.
Yes.
As far as 20 to 30 minutes before bed, I think you're supposed to turn your cell phone off like an hour before bed.
Probably.
So
that was my problem.
20 to 30, I don't know, eat a tub of ice cream? Is that...
Uh-huh.
Is that should I not
that'll
be doing
knock
that?
you right out.
Drink a pint of whiskey. I think was my second.
That's
Eat a
the
pint
other
of whiskey ice cream.
Yes.
Yes. Rum raisin.
Which might have been on offer last night at It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Before we get to what the right answer was, Luke.
Yes.
It was kind of thrilling, was it not, to when I told... So you didn't know that I submitted a answer to this. You weren't
I
even
thought you were
following
having a
this whole
normal
thing.
morning.
You were probably...
I didn't know.
I was having a normal
Well, no, I
morning. I
didn't-
was trying to answer
Yeah.
Breakfast with Bob's question
I
to
did
ponder.
not realize just how sort of high the stakes were.
The stakes were high. You were probably listening to some morning edition. Sorry,
I
sir.
was literally listening to the New York Times audio app. The opinions. Who can the Democrats turn to for leadership?
Well, I was listening to
By the way,
Ponder
very
the Question. Jerk.
interesting conversation about the current governor of Kansas, who I believe her name is might be Rachel Kelly, who is very popular. She's a Democrat, very popular in a very red state. Anyway, let's get back to the morning show.
Let's get back to the morning show. Also, I'm going to do something a little bit awkward here and ask a favor of you, Luke.
Yes.
Could you turn the bass up in my headphones a little bit? I've always wanted to say that, but I'm actually being serious. Don't worry about the bass, but could you just turn the volume up? I'm the first knob there. I'm not
All
used to
right.
not having
Yes,
the volume
yes, yes. How's
control.
this
Okay, that's a
sound?
little bit too much. We could
All right,
split the
easy,
difference.
Jay-Z.
Let's split the difference. Turn the bass down in
Turn
my
me up.
headphones.
Turn that down, Brooklyn.
Thank
How's
you
that for you?
That's pretty good. Thank you
Okay.
very much. And I'm going to do this here. So basically, there is a little radio station that is right on Main Street. Now, technically, I guess I have to say this is not actually in Friendship.
No, it's in
proper.
Adams.
It's in Adams, but it's right on the main drag here, and it's a tiny little radio station that has a window, exactly what your dream always was, and what we're trying to recreate here. We're, of course, in downtown Friendship, looking out on Main Street in the Historical Society, but this is a little studio. I mean, it's just like in the movies, and it looks recently renovated.
Yeah,
Like,
it looks nice.
Like
They've
new
got
modern
a
equipment.
nice soundboard, nice microphones. It's it's a nice little scene.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And so we got done with lunch yesterday, and we wanted to check out the radio station, so we walked by.
Well-
Unfortunately, the DJ wasn't in there at the time, but we saw the board. I mean, it was lit up. It was playing music. We could hear it from the speaker outside.
Yeah, I don't even feel like we set out to like locate the local radio station. It just turns out that
Found us.
it's a fairly concentrated.
Who rescued who?
It's a fairly concentrated, little area here between Friendship and Adams, and we went over to Becky's Sugar Shack. To get some lunch, and then we got out of the Sugar Shack after having our lunch, and you said to me, Andrew, would everybody be okay with about a 1 to 2 block little walk here?
Because our car was directly across the
Yes.
street, and I said, what if instead of just crossing the street here, let's just walk up to the end of the block and just do a little... After you eat it was a good little corned beef sandwich, but, it sits a little heavy, at lunchtime, and it's like just to... I don't know, just like get in the car, like hoist yourself into the car after a meal like that. You need to stretch your legs a little bit, I feel like.
So as we did that little loop, we saw that there's this radio station here. And then, I became immediately obsessed with it because what they are doing there is, again, like you said, what we're trying to recreate here. We're doing this kind of with a certain amount of, chicken wire and duct tape and
what other fowl animals?
Just duck tape, chicken wire, eagle, soaring. I don't know.
Quail.
And it just was like, it was this like very cool little setup with this studio. And then on the, I immediately went to the website and was looking at the lineup, and it looks like they've actually got live DJs, local DJs, like spinning tunes and doing stuff all day long, which was very appealing. I did not realize though that this morning you were going to take the leap and actually enter their morning question contest.
Yeah, I couldn't find a way to stream it directly from their website, so I found sort of, by the way, you got Breakfast with Bob until 10 a.m., and then you got Patty on the air until 2 p.m. Joe Casper is on until 7 p.m., and look who's
bringing it
rounding
home.
out, Delilah.
Shout out Sweet Spirits.
Love
Delilah.
So anyway, I was inspired this morning while getting ready to find a stream of Wisconsin 106, which is the radio station, and I did, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, and I was really thrilled. It started with like a, I can't remember, it started in the middle of a song that was maybe a yacht rock song or something along the lines of that, and then I was like, I don't know, am I even going to hear Bob? And then there was Bob, Breakfast with Bob, and he's bringing us the question of the day to ponder, the question to ponder of the day or something like that, and he said you can email in. They're really pushing the Facebook thing, and I don't have Facebook, and so
I'm recently back on Facebook, so I might enter it via Facebook tomorrow.
Now here's the deal. So I submitted my answer via email, and I'm like, I don't know, like. I feel like they'll just choose some other answer, but I thought I had the right answer.
Yeah.
But then I come out to the kitchen and I tell you about all of this, and then I still have the radio going on my phone, so we stand in the kitchen, and the song ends, and Bob comes back on. He's like, "We're getting a lot of answers. I was like actually." Really on the edge of my seat.
I would say you were vibrating with excitement.
Yes.
And you had the phone on speakerphone. I started videotaping you and the phone in case this was, in fact, a magical moment where you were going to be the winner of the question to ponder.
I would have freaked out.
And then this is what Bob did, and this is why he's a radio professional, and we're still languishing in the realm of podcasting. He said, we've got the answer to the question to ponder. And then he gave some examples of submissions that weren't correct.
That were not right. People were saying...
Do you recall what some of them were?
I do. I think maybe like drinking some decaf tea was one of them. One of them was a little bit on the edge. It was sort of like
having some mommy and daddy times.
Take a steamy shower with your wife was one of them, I believe.
I think I was in the shower while you guys were listening.
Yeah, so you weren't there.
You were taking a steamy shower. That's how you start your day.
That's right.
And then this is what Bob did. He then just went into another song.
He said, none of those are the right answers.
Just left
we'll
us
have the real answer.
Absolutely left us on red.
Wow.
And when I tell you that Andrew and I did not move an inch from that kitchen, we stood there like statues as the Alan Parsons Project
That's right.
played.
It was the Alan Parsons Project.
And then when that song was over.
And then Bob comes back and he gives us a little
Shout
information about Alan Parsons, saying that he was behind the board for a lot of your favorite Beatles songs, which actually I did not know as a Beatles fan, so I'll do some research on that. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's question.
By the way, I resumed videotaping Andrew at this
That's
point.
right, because I really thought when we heard him list, I'm going to say 7 to 8 answers that are wrong. None of the wrong answers were what I submitted. So I'm like, this is obvious. This is obvious that I'm going to win this thing. I'm going to win these tickets. Now, the fair is going on when I'm not here, so I guess I would give those tickets away to a 10
currently you're not
Friday.
scheduled to be here, but that could change.
I was saying if it was going on now, I would certainly encourage you guys to join me in a venture through the what do they say? Elephant ears, and what else do they have at the
onion burgers, a lot of opportunities to buy a trampoline. Or a jacuzzi.
Funnel cake.
Exactly.
Lots of knife demonstrations.
Absolutely. But anyway, unfortunately, that
ShamWow
happens next week, I think. But I did want these tickets. I'm like, I'll find a home for these tickets. I want to win them first, find out to do with them later.
We were going to offer them as a TBTL thank you gift for the Thon this year.
And I think I told you during that Alan Parsons Project song, I'm like, we know we have the right answer. It's just like, will he pick mine?
I also, by the way, submitted the same answer as
that's
Andrew.
right. When you found out about this, you also submitted. I would have been happy for either one of us to win. I'm not even saying that to be nice. I just wanted to win. And then it turns out the answer was completely something else. He didn't even list us
as
or
an
our
incorrect
answer as an incorrect answer, which really did hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've revealed what the actual answer was yet. What is one to do 20 to 30 minutes before going to bed if they want to sleep easier? The answer, it looks like you're getting some.
Do you want to take a break before you actually reveal the
We'll give you the answer right after Feed
this.
the Tree by Belly.
Oh, that would be Andrew's radio station.
It is an eclectic mix they have there, and I appreciate that. But are you getting a drum roll ready?
No, I was getting the disappointment sound ready for after, so that the listeners can understand what our emotional state was when we found out that we did not win.
That is good. The answer was wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
What?
Wear sunglasses.
Now, Andrew, I did a little research on their research.
Oh, you did?
And I found an article in the CBC. Can't fall asleep? Try wearing sunglasses at night, say researchers. So that's good. CBC, a reputable source.
Do we trust Canada these
I will
days?
mention this. It is from
more than ever.
More than ever and more than this place. I don't know if you've been following the news. This article, though, is from 2016.
Oh, well, recent. I mean, recent is
within the last decade.
Objective. Yeah, we call people who started listening to TBTL in 2016 new listeners.
Okay, but we have very low standards for ourselves.
No,
Are you telling me Bob in the morning was willing to present Breakfast with Bob? Bob of Breakfast with Bob was willing to present this as new research from 2016?
Relative to the span of scientific research throughout human history, it's a very recent
You mean on the geologic scale?
Yeah, like if we're talking from like Galileo to today, it's very recent.
Is it clear to you yet that John and I would die for Breakfast with Bob? I mean, defending him to the end.
First of all, I think that obviously everyone knows the right answer is turn your phone off, get that blue light away from your face. And I feel like...
And take some of those little purple pills.
Sure. Yeah, those are a little something to knock you out.
Yep.
I find this. I want to know what the research was, or maybe there's a newer article that also kind of confirms this. Andrew, here's the thing. You might be on Bob's side. I'm on your side.
Thank you. No, it's Luke on your side.
Exactly. That's my new consumer rights segment I'm going to launch next week. If the thon goes okay.
That's great.
If we raise enough money this week to continue on with the broadcast, I am going to launch a consumer rights segment called Burbank's Got Your Back.
Burbank's Got Your Back.
It's called Burbs on Your Back. Wait, what?
That sounds like an HR offense.
Wait, I got.
If you take too many of those blue pills, Burbs, you'll have a Burbs on your back.
Exactly.
So this is the plan, I think, going forward, Andrew, is each morning, and that would be 3 more mornings. We got Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday still.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're going to enter the contest and see if you can possibly win those tickets.
I need to win those tickets.
Wait, what was your answer to today's again, Andrew?
It was turn off your phone.
What if every day from now on you just send that in as your answer, regardless of what the question is?
Can I tell you guys something that you don't know about the story that I'm a little bit embarrassed about now? Now you gotta, I guess sort of half picture this. I am submitting this. I'm done with my shower. I'm dressed enough, just for your imagination here. I'm dressed enough, okay? But I am in the bathroom.
Can there be an enough of you being dressed?
That's a really good question. I got a puffy coat on.
Okay, more.
I got an oversized basketball jersey on.
Getting closer.
That.
You got a Lenny Kravitz scarf.
You look like one of the monsters from Space Jam.
Okay, good. I got that tarp Genevieve wanted to buy for the mulch. I've got that wrapped around.
Perfect.
But I am kind of getting ready, and I'm standing in front of the mirror in the bathroom, and I'm like, I think I'm getting ready to brush my teeth or something. I think my glasses aren't on. You know, the bathroom is a little steamy, but I'm trying to get this answer in quickly on the machine that's also streaming the audio. And he said the email address once, and I think I have it. I think whatever it was, like studio at Wisconsin106.com. I think. Why am I telling people that? That's more competition.
Yeah, we're trying to kind of have the focus be on this show this week and the fundraising.
I say if a 10 wins, I'd take that too, honestly. But
that's
anyway,
a win for the community.
It's a win for the community. All of that is to say, I'm just a little bit disoriented as I'm trying to get this out. And when I submitted my answer, I ended it with a question mark.
Oh no!
You're playing Jeopardy rules.
That's a very
cuck.
That's a very I was going to say beta, but it was a very beta way to enter it. I was just like, turn off your phone, which I should. And you probably put an exclamation point or something at the end.
No,
of
I didn't go that far, but I think I still
points?
have the. I've still got the 2 exclamation points. I think that says everything. Here's what I put in the. You can see. In fact, it was the last email. I put Q to ponder : Oh, I did it with a question mark as well.
Turn off your phone ? Like a couple of betas.
Just a couple of beta boys over here losing two cucks.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
Can I
you.
ask a question about the sunglasses? How does that work, right? Because I assume most people like me, you go to bed, you maybe start reading, you kind of lay in there for a few minutes. Are you wearing them in bed?
Well,
or
no. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. And
please.
it supports my initial theory that the right answer is turn your phone off. One of the things that we know about the cell phones is that they have blue light, right?
Yeah.
It emits this blue light that is supposedly bad for us. Now, the kinds of sunglasses that you're supposed to wear are amber tinted sunglasses, also known as blue blockers.
Oh, so it's a very specific.
So what it is sunglasses that are blocking the blue light.
Yeah.
So you could either walk around in your house with blue blockers on looking like an absolute Nimrod, or you could, and I've never done this and I never will, you could just put your phone away a half hour before you go to sleep. Right. I feel like these are two approaches to the same sort of solution. Yeah. Less blue light entering your eyes and your brain when it is time to start winding down.
Are we going to march down the street and protest outside of Wisconsin 106 this afternoon after lunch?
I would advise against that, because what I'm hoping is that we can get on Wisconsin 106 before the week is over. I don't know if they'll hear this.
What's your plan for that?
I was thinking when we're done recording today, and by the way, hi to everybody watching us on YouTube. Somehow, through the magic of I don't know,
A friendship.
The magic of Friendship, Wisconsin. It seems like the feed is a little more clear today.
I know.
So,
This is, you know what's funny is yesterday I was enjoying having the YouTube up in front of me so I could read the comments, but now that I can actually see myself,
no, it's unsettling
it's
for us.
disconcerting. I don't want it. Yesterday we were just like blurry spots, and I liked that.
Yeah, it's kind of comforting to just be sort of vague. Well, here was what I was thinking. When the show's over today, I was going to fire off a number of emails to the various local hosts over there, and I was going to say, hey, we're a podcast. We're visiting from Seattle, Washington, and we're big fans of the station. And and this is something that I generally don't respond to particularly well when people do it to us.
Yeah, right.
But if you're
like
hey,
begging,
essentially, if you need anyone to help, fill a little time, or you want us to stop by, we'd love to come by and tell you a little bit about what we're doing here in Friendship.
Yeah, so
that was going to be my pitch.
Be our PR person?
I am going to sort of be the brand ambassador for TBTL here in Friendship, Wisconsin. So that's why we shouldn't protest them, because we need to stay on their good side, because I want to get in that cool ass studio. Sorry, I said it.
Yeah.
That cool studio over there, nestled comfortably, by the way, just a few steps down from It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere.
That's right. Our new watering hole.
My new favorite place to watch the Mariners absolutely implode.
That's right. Well, implode makes it sound like they had built something to begin with.
Imploding. The thing about imploding is it indicates the existence of a ploding.
Exactly. There was just nothing. There was just nothing. They just sat there.
Yeah. Hey, if we can go back to your bathroom times, Andrew.
Yeah, please. That's what the listeners want.
I want to talk about this a little bit. You were out of the shower, and we hope fully clothed, and listening to the morning show here in Wisconsin. In your bathroom that is attached to your room that you're sleeping in, which I had not actually been in so far this trip. And then
my ensuite.
Your ensuite, and I needed to use it quickly. Not for going to the bathroom, but for something more embarrassing, for applying my makeup.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. I would have cleared off that
no.
that sink for you a little bit more.
John had just showered in our bathroom that we share, and it was the ventilation in our bathroom leaves a little something to be desired.
Yeah.
So I needed a mirror, and then I was like, this is a pretty nice bathroom.
It is. I feel I have like. Whatever the definition of survivor's guilt is when it comes to having the nice room with the ensuite bathroom, I have that. Thank you guys for
you. Absolutely,
this is very sweet.
You absolutely deserve it, my friend.
Yeah.
Like you are such a sort of low key person when it comes to you and I particularly have stayed in like so many Airbnb situations now, hotels, the whole thing, and you are just so low maintenance, as are you, John. And I am so high maintenance, and it's something I have to really fight. And generally I don't. Generally I just let it. I just let it fly. But my tendency is to walk into a place and immediately assess what is the most appealing scenario that I can be in, and then how do I, somewhat casually but forcefully, make sure that I end up at that eventuality.
Well, I think I always just say take whatever you want.
And I usually do. Yeah. And for some reason, I just felt like I didn't know if it was going to be John, you, or Andrew who grabbed that room, but I just thought for once in my life, maybe I don't just try to go to the best room.
For full transparency, Andrew did shove me in the face and say, "That's my room, jabroni."
Yes, I did.
Yes,
and so,
I wasn't
which
there
is
for
very
that,
in character for him. I would.
The verisimilitude there is the jabroni.
Yes,
you nailed it.
We cannot get Andrew to stop saying jabroni. If you say that, if we get on the local radio and you start using jabroni like you like to,
I was very happy also to let Andrew. You deserve to have the nice things.
Could I just mention? And I don't know if this plays into your story or not, Luke, but when we all arrived at the Airbnb, I think you and John scoped out the place before me for some reason. I think we all immediately went out onto this back porch area just to kind of scope out the view and whatever, and because we're kind of near a lake, and then I think you guys came back inside immediately, and I maybe lingered another minute or two. So when I came back inside, you guys just said, "Oh, Andrew, you can take that room," and it sounded like the nicest one, and I appreciated it. But I still don't. I haven't even been back to where you're. I don't even know what you're. I have no idea what you're. Because I want to respect your guys' privacy.
Thank you.
I haven't seen your bedrooms or what your showering situation is. I just know in my heart that I have the catbird seat.
You do have the, objectively speaking, the nicest room, which I'm very happy for you to have. I really am. I'm a little less happy this morning having seen how nice the bathroom is. My happiness for you went down from 100% to 75%, but it's well deserved.
You want to keep your bathroom privileges? I would.
So to give you the layout for John and I think our rooms both have their pros and cons.
Yeah. I will say for our bathroom, I was pleasantly surprised to find we have a dual sink situation.
Yes.
So
we can do our hair together
Yeah.
at the same time, and that's actually kind of convenient. But like, so John's room is very small, unfortunately, but the bed looks pretty. The bed looks pretty decent.
I was actually, when I first got there, I was like, oh, this is gonna be very uncomfortable. But I've slept very nicely the last few nights. It's actually it was pleasantly surprising.
Now, my room is a little larger than John's. But it also is the room that has bunk beds in it. And I'm sleeping on the lower bunk bed because it's the larger of the two beds. It's probably the size of like what we might call a it's not quite a twin. It's a little larger than a twin
Like a
bed.
Full.
Maybe a full.
Yeah, interesting, but the one on top of it is smaller. Oh, I've never seen a staggered sort of.
Well, if you ever came over to the other side of the tracks,
I wasn't sure I was allowed.
If you ever came down,
cigarettes over there.
There's a place called Lonesome Town. If you ever came down there, Andrew,
head over to the Bachelor Arms over there.
Exactly. My bed's a race car. So it kind of is in a way because I get all set up in the lower bunk. And this is night one, and we were all pretty tired. You know, you and I particularly got up really early on the West Coast to fly out and stuff. And I sort of got into bed and got all cozied up. And it was one of those nights where I could have fallen asleep sitting down. Like I was really, really gassed. And so maybe I didn't fully notice it when I got into bed. Sometime in the middle of the night, as I was rolling around, I was trying to figure out what felt kind of different about this bed than I'm used to.
It's a water bed.
That actually would have been, that'd be an interesting plot development. I kind of thought maybe that like somebody before me had left like a Twix wrapper in the bed or something. Like there was something kind of crinkly, something that didn't feel like, didn't feel like my bed at home anyway. And through a little bit of research, I realized that
you Googled it.
I did. Hey Siri, is there a Twix wrapper in my bed? I asked Gemini to write me an email to Siri asking if there was a Twix wrapper in my bed. Right. And of course there wasn't. What there was underneath all of the sheets on my bed were another set of sheets, what we used to call when I was a kid, rubber sheets. The sheets that often are, I feel like this has fallen out of fashion. Like it seemed like a thing that was fairly common when I was young anyway, that you knew about it. Maybe you knew kids that had it, or you would stay somewhere and that would be the case, whatever. I don't feel like it. I haven't encountered this in a long time, but I basically have.
But why would you, though? You don't have kids, right? You're not saying a lot of kid places. I'm not
That's
saying
true.
You're wrong about that, but I'm almost like, why would we know?
I mean, honestly, you whiffed pretty hard on the question to ponder today, so can we trust anything that you're saying?
That is a good point.
Tomorrow's question is about rubber sheets.
You know what, Luke? You're right. I'm going to start listening. I'm here to listen today.
So, yeah, I have on my bed like those kind of rubber sheets that are in case somebody has an accident. They clearly the owners of this Airbnb realize this is the room where the kids are going to be staying, and they don't want some kids having an accident in the middle of the night and ruining the bunk bed mattress.
It's a very kid-friendly place. They have like games and toys, and they have children's life preserve with life jackets for the water. So it's a real family-friendly getaway.
It's so family-friendly. My room is so as to be adult dangerous because this has nothing to do with the sheets. In my room, R.I.P.
I'm sorry?
Brian Wilson.
Oh, okay. I don't know that song.
In My Room?
I don't know it.
I just probably did a bad rendition of it. There's a place that I can go. I mean, one of the most famous Beach Boys songs?
I don't think I know that song.
I don't think I know that one either.
Really?
I only really know Pet Sounds and then
I thought that was
really
on
big
Pet
hits.
Sounds. Maybe it was earlier than that.
Maybe I'm just having a moment, but no, I don't think I know that song.
I also don't think my rendition was doing us any favors. So I have one of those fans in my room, a ceiling fan that's a light. I believe you have one in your room, Andrew, that's over your bed.
And then you operate it with a remote control.
Well, you have the remote control because you have the fancy room.
Do I control all your fans?
No,
you do,
just
and it's
for you.
I'm turning it on.
Mine's on.
I have to pull a cord.
Mine is on a switch, but I like having mine running because one, it's a bit of a white noise. It also is keeping the room cool. Here's the problem: I'm probably going about 6 foot. I used to be 6'1". I might be about 6 foot these days. My ceiling fan is about 5 feet 10 from the floor to where the ceiling fan is about 5 feet and 10 inches. And if that thing is going and I were to not duck,
oh man,
it would it would give me a haircut that I was not looking to have.
Are you just walking around with your head tilted the whole time?
I am when I pass through that part of the room. It's actually insane. Like, I know that they are that the plan is this is the children's room, if you will. This is for people that are, probably going to be pretty short. They're kids.
But you think the parents are going in there too to like check on the kids?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Like,
The parents are pulling a real Andrew. They're just staying down at the ensuite.
There's
they're
a band
like whatever
children.
happens at the
I
south
don't
end,
even
that is not our
wanna
problem.
know, yeah.
No, but like I actually feel like I mean, this place that we're staying has generally been fine, but I do feel like I need to send them a little email that says you really have to like figure out something else for the ceiling fan in this room, because if a person over the height of 5'10" is in here, it is actually dangerous.
You sound like somebody who's in one of those movies where they're like under a helicopter. You know what I mean? And often it's like people who are like, I don't know if I can explain this. I feel like I've never tried to put words to this before, but it's something I've seen in movies so much that sort of fascinated me as a kid, because you would see like some helicopter scene. And usually it's, yes, there are people who fly the helicopter and they're used to it, but then you have like, I don't know, dignitaries or some or hospital personnel or whatever. They're rushing to and they're all bending over so that their heads don't get chopped off by the blades. And I just remember being a kid, and again, I don't even know if I can explain it. I was like kind of confused by it. I'm like, well, it looks like if you stand up you'd be fine, but is it an instinct thing or is it just a safety thing? Everybody tells you to do it. If I was by a helicopter, I bet you if it was spinning
well, you
like
were.
that,
you just told me you did a helicopter at the Grand Canyon. Do you remember what you did?
I do not think the blades were spinning when we boarded the helicopter. So that was it. Because you were talking about a helicopter ride on the show recently, and it reminded me that I have actually the man who's afraid of heights and the man who brought the rock and roll edge to helicopters actually did take a helicopter ride on January 6th. As I was telling you, we knew that something was going on in the Capitol. Vives and I were on vacation in the Grand Canyon. We went up for a half-hour tour or whatever it was. We came back down, and friends of the world had changed. It was a very weird day, but yeah, I don't know. It sounds like you're sort of going in there and kind of doing
that this is instinct a little bit. It's possible. Here's what I haven't done. I haven't tested it. I haven't walked into it while it's moving, because I feel like if my theory is confirmed, then you guys will just have to host the rest of the week without me. But it definitely is not a good
I got
feeling.
this, John. I didn't like your lack of confidence in me.
Well,
there.
I mean, I tough for me. I meant personally, I was worried about stepping up responsibilities.
Okay.
I feel very confident in you, unless you abandon us to go to Wisconsin 106.
This is the thing, though, that happened.
You're dropping off press releases. I'm dropping off my resume.
Yeah, your demo tape. No, you're dropping off your reel, dude.
Yeah, right.
This is the thing, though, that I didn't see coming. Last night, crawled back into bed. My plan was to take the rubber sheets off. Didn't get around to it. Slept like an absolute baby.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say,
and by that I mean peed in the bed constantly for probably 6 hours.
Exactly.
No, I slept so great. I'm worried that by the end of this week, I won't be able to sleep on a non-rubber sheet bed.
Oh, my God. How big is your bed at home? Do you mind me asking?
It's a king-size bed, Andrew.
Do you think that they make these for king-size beds?
I bet you they do, because there's all kinds of reasons why you might need to protect the mattress.
Then go ahead and get yourself one of those.
Is that the second recumbent bike?
Yes.
No, I think it's the same guy.
It's got to be.
Every day around this time, a guy goes by on a recumbent bike. We have a perfect view of Main Street and all the people walking back and forth.
We really do.
There was somebody walking back and forth before who was only wearing one sandal, and we can't
that
kind
was
of figure
interesting.
out the story there.
Yeah, it was a gal who pulled up in a pretty nice vehicle and then got out of the vehicle and had one flip-flop on and then a barefoot. And then just walked over to the tobacco shop.
And just to be very clear, it did not seem like somebody, and again, I'm
struggling,
judging you, but it didn't seem like, somebody who was like really hitting hard times or anything like that. It just seemed like a choice, and I really wish we had interviewed that person.
You know who is struggling? My dear beloved mother. And she's struggling with my description of her behaviors yesterday. Now, I've said this on the show before, and Mom, I hope you're hearing this. I feel like my relationship with my mom is so rich and so kind of like rewarding at my age of 49, and I'm really happy about that. I feel really lucky to have close connections to my whole family, including my mom. I love my mom so much. And I love that my mom is like increasingly interested in TBTL, as in recently joined the book club.
Wow, yeah.
Yep.
And, was at the Philly show and got to meet a lot of tens. And it's just like kind of sort of becoming part of the show. But that also means my mom listens to the show a lot now, which means anytime I bring her up, I'm usually saying something that she does not exactly agree with my version of events. And that was exactly what happened yesterday. We were talking about like Value Village and Goodwill and places like that, those kind of, like secondhand stores, thrift stores. And I was saying that there was this store in Seattle called Value Village, which was actually a for-profit store and which was kind of shady because they made a lot of people think that they were a nonprofit and that the donations were going to help people who might need some help. And really, it was just a private business that would just resell your stuff that they hoped you would give to them. I told a story of my mom trying to take Value Village down by going, which I don't really even understand the finances or the math on that, but just, I was freestyling. And I was talking about how my mom found money in a pocket of a garment at Value Village and then took the money home. And that now she goes there and she goes through all of the different, pants and jackets looking for money. This is what my mom said yesterday. Hey, you, listening to your podcast, and I only went through the one pair of jeans. Found the $20, but never did it again because your dad was so displeased.
And what's the displeasure?
We've talked about this on the show, and I don't need to get angry emails from Walt over this, but I think listen,
you're pitting your parents together.
Belt and suspenders only barely begins to describe my dad's way of going through the world, which again I respect. That's a way to go through the world. My mom said he seemed to be okay if I bought the pants and then returned them because he figured whatever was in the pockets was officially mine if I purchased them. I started feeling like I am not that desperate, so it was a one-off. Also, Value Village closed down soon after that event. To which I would say, exactly. So mom managed to take Value Village down, in my estimation of things. So good job, mom.
Okay, I really feel strongly about this. And this is a weird thing because you're bringing it up, and I really don't want to cause any kind of stress or disharmony amongst your family members. But
Yes.
The more you describe your dad, and you guys have been doing a lot of projects together and hanging out together and stuff, and the more I hear about your dad, the more I think of myself as a Walt.
Yes.
Very much so. There's so much.
a doubt.
As I was setting up the gear yesterday or Sunday night or whatever it was, and kind of being very specific about things, I was wondering if you were seeing me with some of the same emotions you had when your dad was trying to get the door perfectly right that you were talking about, which you ended up very happy that he had such attention to detail about it, but at the time you're like, it's probably just fine as it is. But Walt and I, we're attention to detail fellas. We're belt and suspenders folks, as you said, certainly. And I think we both have a pretty solid moral compass, to be honest with you. But in this case, not only do I think there's nothing wrong with finding money in a pocket at a resale place, whatever that resale place may be, and keeping it. I mean, if it's Goodwill, I might donate it to the Goodwill program. In fact, one of our listeners, Jackie, is on the board of a Goodwill organization, and said that this program that goes into kind of educating and training people for jobs is really a good service. So I'm glad to support that. But especially at a place like Value Village, which is a for-profit place, I do not know what the harm is. I do not know what the harm is at all of taking that money. But even more so, though, these details that I hear of, well, you should have bought them, taken the money, and then returned them. That just is such with all due respect, Walt. Walt, I aim to be like you, but that seems like more of a loophole. It's the same end. I don't think that really solves anything.
Also, we're getting that from my mom.
Okay.
So that's my mom's recollection of things, which, memory is a fugitive.
Can I jump in here real quick? And I'm just going to be upfront. I'm very pro Susie on this for two reasons. I've had the great pleasure of meeting Susie a couple times. I hope hey, Susie, if you're there listening or watching, John is a big fan of yours. So repeat that. John adores Susie. She's a great person. And also, Susie Burbank is a monthly sustaining donor to TBTL. So as the guy that watches the purse of TBTL,
you're absolutely right.
I'm always going to take her side.
Imagine this. Imagine if your throw your phone moment, I'm talking to the listeners now, was being generated by your actual son. Imagine how much that would hurt. And this is a woman who is still donating to the show despite the fact that I regularly misdescribe things related to her. Now, that's love.
As you were as you were sort of explaining to me, this version of events is your mom's version of events, but what your dad had said, it reminds me, of course, of Rashomon, which is a kind of concept that you bring up a lot. And
because it's the one thing I have to describe that. Actually, that's not true. Miramar by Naguim Mahfouz is the same concept. Those are the two things I have to describe that.
But it reminds me, I was scrolling on some social media recently, and I'm sorry to just quote Simpsons jokes that I've only read before, but there was I think a Reddit thread or something what is the most underappreciated Simpsons joke? And people were just posting screen caps. And they show Homer saying, Rashomon, Or I think maybe Marge is saying to Homer, Rashomon, you hated that movie, Homer. And he says, that's not how I remember it. It's such a good joke just to like bury in an episode of The Simpsons.
That is a Harvard grad Simpsons writer level joke. Hey, if we are not, if heaven forbid, if my many misstatements around my mom and her behaviors, etc., if that were to get to her and she were to decide to stop funding the show personally, she funds about 80% of the overall budget each year. I don't know if people know that.
I heard somebody's trying to claw it back.
That would be, it's a rescission, unfortunately. If she were to try to claw back that donation, it would become even more important that we had other folks donating. Right, John? Right, John? Because here we are. It's the TBTL-a-Thon, and we are raising money to support the show. What we did not get into yesterday was all of the cool thank you gifts.
And they are awesome.
They really are.
Not to like pat our own backs or whatever. Or
we should.
But I think a lot of tens have been giving us a lot of great feedback on what they're seeing, and it's a lot of fun.
I feel like what I'm hearing from folks is that there are folks that are donating at certain levels because they just want to get the thank you gifts, which is kind of the idea. That's sort of what we're trying to do.
It's an incentive.
I was trying to make bed music for you guys.
I love
with
that
the melodica. It wasn't going great.
Well, let's do this because let's see. I'm holding one of the thank you gifts. Andrew's got one. John, you just be the narrator on this. There we go. Good. All right. What are the different things that folks can get if they support TBTL during this TBTL-a-Thon?
Well, I mean, since Andrew's going for it, $35 a month, or you can make the equivalent one-time gift. Andrew's got the lovely melodica. We're not
TBTL.
sure.
We're going with melodica.
Melodica.
The amount of our life we're going to lose if we have to call it two things every time is going to be up to 40 seconds.
By the way, this thing, you can blow right into it the way I am, so I sort of look like I said on Friday's show.
And let me throw this out, too. I want to hear, Andrew, before you do your song. Hey, Andrew. The reason that we went with these particular thank you gifts is because the theme this year is TBTL-a-Thon 16, banding together. We feel like this is a time where we really need to band together. The people who love each other and who are probably pretty upset and anxious about a lot of the things going on in the country and the world. This is a time for us to all come together and really just love on each other and support each other. So everything that we're offering, at least most of it, is related in one way or another to music. And in fact, tomorrow night, the Zoom that we're doing is going to be, what's it called again, Andrew? Ten's Got Music
America's
things?
10's Got Music stuff?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We're all kind of going with this music theme. So the melodica it'll say TBTL on it.
Yeah, these are all sample items, so they're not the finished premium.
For those of you watching the live stream.
So the melodica will have a nice little TBTL imprint on it.
Yes. Yep. Andrew, can we hear your melodica concerto?
I don't really know how to play anything, but I sort of know the keying for Smoke on the Water.
Okay.
And by the way, I want to mention you can kind of play it like you can hold
the thing. It's a piano that you blow into. It's freaking amazing.
And you can blow into it and kind of hold it like a clarinet, or you can do this thing here. You take off that mouthpiece and you plug this little tube into it.
Yes.
You can set it in front of you like a keyboard.
Is that going to make it? Is that your preferred way to play Smoke on the Water?
I think that's the only way I'll be able to know how to do it. Okay. So
here we go. Okay,
that was
good.
Like legit.
That's
literally all I know.
That was awesome.
That was really, really good, dude.
Is that a yub nub?
Yeah, like I give that 2 yub nubs up.
And the melodica also comes with a little carrying case. So,
yes.
If you want to travel to show it off,
you can make
friends.
a joyful noise with that. And one of the things that's fun about the melodica and this other thing that I've got, of course, which is the harmonica. It's going to TBTL branded harmonica. What's the donation level for the harmonica?
$10 a month will get you the harmonica.
I cannot play Smoke on the Water, but what I like about these instruments, either the melodica or the harmonica, is you don't have to be like a sort of musical savant to make a sound.
Talent.
You gotta.
Corn's getting high.
This is
down by the river.
Okay, Phil Oakes.
Dude.
Times they are a changing.
Oh, that was beautiful.
By the way, That's only the third time I've played harmonica. I don't know if you can tell.
No, couldn't tell at all.
And then John's got the tambourine. Yeah. And now the tambourine it's kind of great for a few reasons. One, it is also very easy. When I was growing up and we were at Gospel Outreach Christian Fellowship and there was a worship service and there was somebody who really wanted to be part of the worship team, but that maybe, let's say, that they didn't know how to play like a guitar or piano or drums or anything like that, but they still wanted to, sort of lift their voice. We just handed them a tambourine.
Yeah.
You can't, I mean, how wrong can you really go with a tambourine?
I have no music talent, and I can at least go.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh,
and the other thing that's cool about the tambourine is it is going to have the ones that you're going to have mailed to you, the tens of listeners, the folks who are able to donate. It's going to have this like sort of TBTL Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks, artwork?
Artwork. I mean, I think that's even underselling it.
Yes.
It's a masterpiece.
Yes.
Created by our friend Max, who's done some artwork for the show before. And it's the three of us as the Chipmunks, as inspired by our little viral moment with you guys cackling at the Mr. Tambourine cover.
Exactly.
So that's what the tambourine gets you. And then there's also, if you go to tbtl.net/donate, did I say .not? So tbtl.net/donate.
TBTL, listen, hold on.
Say hello to my little friend,
This guy's got
Luke
it.
Burbank on TBTL.net.
There you go.
Okay, so if you heard that, which I did not, there you go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you have headphones. We are also raising money for John to get headphones.
If you go to the website, you'll see what the items will look like. The other thing is obviously also there you'll see if you're giving $15 or more a month, Luke and Andrew will thank you on air during the year when we get to that.
And for $20 a month, we'll pronounce your name right.
Yeah, no guarantees on that. Don't tell us that. But also a really cool thing is at $25 a month, which gets you the tambourine, or $35 for the melodica, you also get TBTL's greatest hits album.
That's right.
A vinyl that we're producing. So it's a package deal. So it's not just the instrument. You also get a really great album, which has awesome artwork.
Yes.
That was designed by actually somebody I know in the Twin Cities.
Somebody who you found through your softball team.
It's the picture on my softball team's girlfriend.
Yes.
She and I were just talking like a little while back, and I was like, "Oh, we're looking for this artist to do a very specific kind of thing for this project." She goes, "Well, I'm a graphic designer, and I didn't know this about her actually. I only met her a couple times." And I was like, "Oh," I showed her what we were kind of trying to do. And I was like, "Could you recreate this?" And she's like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I think she really nailed it. So
it's kind of in the style of a 1970s soft rock.
Nobody tell Air Supply that their greatest hits album bears a striking resemblance to the TBTL greatest hits album, please. But again, I think this has to be uncharted territory for a podcast, for a spoken word podcast to release a greatest hits album on vinyl.
It's pretty spectacular, and and out there.
I'm really proud of our creative thinking on this. And even if you don't have a record player, it will just look it'll look great. It'll look great on a shelf somewhere in your house.
And by the way, we will also release. We haven't figured out a couple of things on this album. We are still in the studio working on some things, tweaking. We got the guy Alan Parsons is on the ones and twos. I think did we get Alan?
Yeah, we got Alan. Big time.
And so we are still producing this thing. So it is going to be dropping, as they say in the business, later this fall. So this will be coming out kind of around November or something like that. Right? No?
Yeah. I just
you made a disturbing squeak.
No, I'm sorry. I just get very
hold on
neurotic about this kind of stuff. Okay. So all the musical instruments.
Turn the bass down in my head. Turn the mids down in my head.
Brooklyn. Trying to drown out John's anxiety.
It is the musical instruments will be arriving to folks between like September, October, kind of like they did last year. And the album, depending on a few factors, November. I think November is a fair.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
We will get it to you. We will get it to them when we get it to them when it's right.
When it's right.
Okay.
We're still sweetening.
Exactly.
But I did want to say
you don't just walk in there and record a podcast greatest hits album in one take.
Right.
And it's fine. This is a process.
Right.
this is the important thing, and this is the point of what I was trying to say, though, is even if you don't have a turntable, but you want to display this thing, but you also want to hear this thing, we will also give you a digital download of the content as well. How we will do that, I don't know.
We're figuring that out.
I'm not
That's the easy part.
details guy.
Yeah.
That's the easy part.
The other thing, too, I'll say is these are all, obviously, we're really excited about Max's artwork. We're excited about the vinyl, the melodic, all these cool things. But, like, if those are donation levels that just are not feasible, everyone who donates, including all those folks as well, will get a sticker.
Oh, yeah.
Recreates, like, a sticker of the billboard that we have here
Yes.
in Friendship. And so, like, if you're like, I really want to support the show, I can't afford that. Totally cool. We understand. Like, obviously, we appreciate every dollar anyone could give, and you'll at least be getting the sticker for your support.
And the sticker is actually kind of cool. Like, I think I said this on the show a little while ago, but like, since we sort of like locked in on the billboard design, I, was showing it to just about anybody who would take a moment to hear me out. And I kept trying to find it in my phone, and I would never had the picture where I thought it was and everything. This is, I'm going to get one of these stickers, and I'm going to put it up probably on my laptop.
Yeah. Are you going to get a sticker? Do we have enough for?
Well, I mean,
we'll talk.
Yeah,
I'll get one.
We'll see if Susie will.
If my mom gets
hers.
one, I'll ask her if I can have her sticker. And then, look, the main thing here is just that. First of all, we really, really appreciate everybody who's already been stepping up. It's huge, and very gratifying, and also very relieving, because like, this is, as you all know, if you're hearing this, you're pretty plugged in, obviously, and you know that like things like our show, again, we're not a public radio show per se, but basically just kind of like interesting, weird, hopefully somewhat smart content that promotes love and joy in the world is under threat. And so, there are shows all over the place, whether they're actually on public radio or whether they're other podcasts, that are just going away. And it's really a bummer. And we would really like to stay here. And so I know that people are stressed about what the economy is going to do. And there's just a lot of uncertainty out there. But I can tell you one certainty is that if we are able to raise the money we need to raise and keep doing this, we're going to be here 5 days a week doing this little thing. So if you're out there and maybe you've never had a chance to donate before, this is a really good year to do it, because we've got somebody who's stepped up to match that donation, which is like incredible. I still kind of can't process that.
And those are specifically for people who've never donated before or haven't given in a while. Those donations will be matched. And that's kind of a big point of mine too. And I sent out an email earlier today kind of talking about this, is like, I'm so proud of where we've come and so grateful. And we've done it because a kind of small fraction of our audience has supported us like super generously. And I just can't thank those folks enough. And so I'm kind of trying to talk to the people who love the show and like listen to the show and have a relationship with the show, but just haven't kind of gotten to that point yet. And I don't want to break the bank. Not everybody can give. I don't want anybody to feel guilty if you can't give. No. But if you can, and you are just taking a little moment of introspection here and saying, you know what, this is pretty damn important, and you could give even, at whatever you feel comfortable. Nobody's judging you. It's all love. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. TBTL.net, which is probably how most of you are watching this and listening to it right now, but you can go to TBTL.net, click on the button, and give us a donation. Andrew, is it possible that you accidentally sent the fundraising email to the morning DJ at the local station instead of your answer to the question to ponder, and that is why?
I did end every sentence in the newsletter with a question mark. Was that a problem?
Listen, thank you, everybody. We really do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Top Story.
All right, we are talking about friendship in the news this week because we are here in Friendship, Wisconsin, at the Adams County Historical Society. Just wonderful folks here. We just absolutely love these people that are running this place. I think it's largely volunteer, and they've just been absolutely just tremendous to us to let us do this, and getting here early to let us into the building and letting us store our Coke Zeros in the staff refrigerator. Just as nice as can be. And yesterday when we did Friendship in the News, we highlighted a couple of newspaper articles here in the local paper that we found kind of hilarious. Jay Leno used to have that headlines segment. We were going to do our version of that.
Yeah, later on I'm going to go out in the streets of Friendship and put a microphone on people's faces.
Walsh-walking.
Ask them questions about U.S. history.
Yeah, exactly. But what we also realized was we wanted to make sure we were giving the right sort of image of Friendship, because this is a really great place. Friendship Adams, these two little kind of these communities that are very close together. It's a great place. So I'm not going to read you from the police blotter of the Adams Friendship local paper or anything like that. I'm going to read to you from People Magazine, which this was the top story that came up when I did a search for friendship. Actually, that's not true. The top story that came up when I did a news search for friendship yesterday, and you both know this because we were talking about it at the Airbnb, was a New York Times article about a college student who had a very close friendship, you would say, with an AI chatbot.
Right.
And it was talking about how she had kind of figured out the exact right personality to kind of give and coach this chatbot to have. The chatbot, I believe, was named I think this one was Donatello.
Yes, the first one you said was Donatello.
No. Donatello was the one that she was having a good relationship with.
I see. Yes, I see.
And in reading the article, it said that she was really happy that she had kind of figured out the right tone and everything for this chatbot, Donatello, who was a Ninja Turtle, was part of its personality, I think, because she had previously had a really bad experience with a different chatbot where things had gotten pretty toxic, and that chatbot was Leonardo, a different Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
And I just didn't expect that line. Her previous chatbot, and I actually don't get the sense this relationship was romantic in any way. I think it was just a friendship thing. But that's just a lot of Ninja Turtle sort of chat botting to do.
After sleeping on it, it makes some sense because Leonardo is the leader of the Ninja Turtles. But
Leonardo leads. That's from the song. Leonardo leads. Donatello does machines.
Exactly. So Donatello's the tech guy. So it makes sense that the AI chatbot would align with Donatello. So that actually makes sense as I think about it.
Yeah. Right. What are the other? What else is in the song? How well do you know the song?
I know that somebody is a radical dude.
Oh yeah, aren't they all radical dudes?
Somebody says, "Give me a break." And does a backspin.
Yeah, can you?
Oh, wow.
Wait, where's the melodic?
I can't do the...
Okay, ready?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power, and then there's...
Okay, that was so not helpful.
Yeah, but Raphael's rude but cool.
Oh, yes.
Michelangelo's a party dude.
Okay, there it is. It did get you there. You know what? It was helpful. You had to get into the role.
30 years.
So anyway, we chose not to do that story.
No.
Because we knew that we didn't know the song. So I went to the next result for a news search for friendship, and I got this from People Magazine. Woman refuses to pick up friend after rebooked flight. Tells her to call an Uber. I thought, well, that's actually that's a good talk show topic.
Sure, yeah, let's hear the deets.
Airport rides and the like, and just the whole kind of, sort of rules around that. And then this is when I started to realize that journalism is dead because the piece is all based on a Reddit post.
Oh, there's no interviews. We have no idea.
There are no interviews.
Is this like the Am I the A-hole subreddit where people are like...
It's something
like that. This happened to me and half the stories are made up, if not more.
Yeah.
This is from People Magazine. It is using fully stock art.
Yeah.
I know this isn't helpful because this is an audio podcast, but like if you're ever reading a quote-unquote news article and you notice that all the photographs are clearly stock photographs. Like they're not from the news event. They're just like, let's say that two people are having a disagreement in the news article, and then you look at the photo for the news article, and it's like two people in an office with their arms crossed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like something, right out of one of your HR training videos or something. That's one of the things that immediately tells you this is not probably very thorough original reporting. So what this is really is a write-up of a Reddit post that a person posted on Reddit. They don't interview the person. I think this, to be honest with you, the story doesn't fully pass the sniff test. Can I just lay this on you?
Maybe we should go back to the turtle content.
Because I can't hear. Did you guys play This Is Bunk Journalism yet? The drop?
No.
Because this is...
We're all hearing it in our heads, though.
No.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I want to also, if I could, I want to get a little credit this week. I'm actually switch hitting. I'm playing all the drops with my left hand, which is not my usual because I have to hold my microphone with my right hand because of the alignment of this table. And so normally I would be, if I wasn't having to deal with this microphone, I could be flying around the keys. I could be grabbing bunk journalism sound effect, but I can't. And I don't want the listeners to judge me on this of all weeks.
No, that's true.
All right. So here's the story as laid out on Reddit. This is a quote, I guess, from the Reddit post. Last week, I had agreed to pick up a neighbor at the airport at about 10 p.m., the woman writes in her post. Her friend, who doesn't drive, frequently relies on others for rides and tends to travel with excessive luggage. Quote, 2 large check-in bags, as close to the 50 pounds max limit as possible, and 3 carry-ons. The woman also points out that her friend has a habit of booking the latest possible flights, often arriving late at night. Quote, she likes to stay up late, so always books the latest flight to arrive back in town. First of all, that part doesn't really check out for me. You're a late night stayer-upper. Would you book the latest flight in town to town because you like to stay up late? Those feel like unrelated concepts to me.
Yeah, no, I like to stay up late. I don't like to travel late.
Exactly. You'd like to get home at 1 in the afternoon and then stay up late.
Can I give myself some credit here? This
sure
is
can.
so unimportant for me to break your flow, but I just want to say, based on you reading the first lines of that, I did some Googling, and I was totally right. This is in the AITAH hole subreddit.
H? Oh, a hole.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's not one word to them.
That's interesting.
The H gets its own letter. Interesting.
That's a really good point.
Okay, making matters worse, she's increasingly anxious about driving near the airport. This is the person who's supposed to do the pickup. Doesn't like driving at night. By the way, that's starting to happen for me.
Yeah, it started to happen to me a while back.
I'm starting to side with that kid that offered me the senior discount the other day.
Yeah, my
I
eyes
actually
are
think he had a
shut.
point. I don't like driving at night. I'm like, has it always been this dark out here?
I'm telling you, at night in the rain, I just want to put the shield down and use the force. Honestly, I can't see anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Left-handed, by the way. Everybody on YouTube, can you see that? Left-handed.
How many yub nubs have I earned so far? I think 3, right? That's good.
So the friend is arriving now, supposed to arrive at 9:50 p.m., which actually means after getting her bags and stuff, it's going to be more like 11 p.m. The person in question, the person who's posted this thing on Reddit, says from the time that she lands, it usually takes her close to an hour to get her bags and get to the pickup area.
Oh,
my goodness!
We have a reporter in here.
Are you?
We have the press. None of this is on the record.
Are you? Unless we want it to be. Are you just observing us, or are you here to interview us?
I told him I'd come and see what it was all about.
Okay.
Would you like
you
to
do know that we're streaming live right now, right? You're on the stream.
You're
on the video
You're broadcasting
stream right
on
now?
YouTube right now.
Yeah,
you are. I just wanted to
Let's-
make sure you knew that you were walking into a broadcast.
What's your name? Harriet. What's your last name? Yeah, sure. And you're with the local paper here. Okay.
Times reporter.
You are.
Great.
Okay.
Well, this is awesome. We didn't know this was happening.
Okay. Would you like to could we grab you a seat, John? Could we score a seat for Harriet? And then do you just want to kind of like hang out and see what the whole thing is about?
Yeah. Sure.
This is amazing, by the way. I want to make this clear. Like, this isn't a bit for the listeners. We did not know that you were coming here today. This is really cool.
I said that I would come because I'm here on Tuesdays because I do a column called Only Yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I was reading that.
Yeah, and I write 5, 25, 50, and 75. And so anyway, this is the day I come because
you come do some
open
research
Tuesday.
here at the Historical
all
Society.
The newspapers are here.
So you write a column that basically says on this date here in Friendship Adams, and you go back through the decades.
I love doing it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us?
I don't know. I'm just interested to know what you're doing or how you're doing.
Well, here's
it
what
or
we're
you're
currently doing. We're wondering, and you're a journalist, you might have a thought on this. Are you familiar with Reddit? It's just kind of a website where people post various things.
Yeah.
Would you ever, for your paper, we're reading an article that's being presented as a news article, but it's really just based on what one person posted on this website. Mm-hmm. Like there's not any original reporting. They haven't interviewed the person. That would never make it into your paper, right?
I say I work for the newspaper, but the only thing I do for them is that column, and then I do another one that's called Harriet's on the Move, where I go somewhere, and then at the beginning of the paper, it's in the beginning of the paper. And then
Where have you been recently?
Everywhere. I go everywhere.
Okay,
so
but like what was
recently,
last Harriet on the Move?
We took it at the top of the stairs at Rosher Creek Park.
I heard that somebody burned those down with a cigarette last year.
We started on that, yes, but they just opened in May. Finally, they repaired
fixed
the
it.
stairs. Yes.
Did they catch this mysterious woman who threw her cigarette off the
Thought it was
stairs?
a joke. Who thought it was a joke? I don't know because I can't get any information about it.
Seriously. So let me tell you the story that I heard last night at It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Ah.
I heard.
Have you done a column on that place yet?
No, I can't. I can't do a business. I can only do I read with the second graders, so I go there. I read with the third graders, or climb the stairs, or whatever. But anyway.
Here's the story that I heard. I heard that there was somebody who was walking up the stairs at Rosher Creek, this big rock.
Yes.
and that this person who was described as maybe being like an adult woman was smoking a cigarette going up these stairs, and then threw the cigarette off of the stairs, and then it caught fire, and that these 10-year-old kids tried to put it out, couldn't, and then called their parents, and then their parents called the fire department. By the time they got there, the stairs were significantly burned.
Huh.
Now, I got to tell you, I was a 10-year-old boy. I'm wondering if this person on the stairs ever existed. This seems more like something that if I were a 10-year-old boy and I was fooling around, messing around with, cigarettes or lighters or doing what, again, as a 10-year-old boy, I tended to do, and things got out of hand, I might invent a mysterious one-armed woman who was smoking on the stairs. You heard it here first, people. And we've got Harriet on the case now. What has your reporting found?
Just that that it was female. I don't know why I heard that.
Yeah, weird detail.
And then somebody else, the person I was climbing with, Katie, said that those kids really ran fast down the stairs when the fire started.
Okay, so there were people saw that the kids were helping.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're here to exonerate.
Clear their name.
We're exonerating the Rosha Cree too. Is there any chance that we could be maybe just mentioned lightly in Harriet on the Move? Does this count as being on the move?
Well, I'm here at the. Yeah, you can, but I have to. And it's good.
You sound dubious, and that's fair. That's fair.
I'm just thinking it's not a business, so
yeah. Well, it's not much of one.
That if it's a business, if I went to 5 o'clock somewhere and took my picture, that would be considered advertising.
Like advertising. Yeah.
Not here.
Do you know anybody at the radio station? Because we're trying to get on there too this week. At 106, Bob in the morning.
Bob in the morning.
Do you ever play that question to ponder game that he does?
No, because I listen to. When I'm exercising, I listen to Lawrence O'Donnell and Seth Meyers.
That's good. Do you listen to Ezra Klein?
Stephen Colbert.
Yeah. I know, right?
And
can you believe
who's
it?
the other guy? Oh, Jimmy Kimmel. But
oh, sure.
Yeah, he's going to be next, I guess. That's what I heard.
Well, he's trying not to be. Those are some good things to listen to, though.
Yeah.
Do you listen to Chris Hayes? Why is this happening? That's a really good. He's another MSNBC guy. Would recommend.
Yeah.
Ezra Klein, maybe. TBTL. Have you ever heard of TBTL?
That's us.
I was going to see if she lied. You guys, that was a little quick.
Sorry.
All right. Well, what do you think, Andrew? What, should we take a call?
That's right. We're taking calls.
But I'm sorry, Harriet, you're not going to be able to hear this because we don't have any headphones for you. But just trust us. Somebody's calling on the phone, and just we'll translate it for you. Okay?
Yeah. So if anyone wants to call, our phone number is 206-414-8285. That's 206-414-TBTL. The phone lines are open if you want to give us a ring. But nobody's standing by right now.
Okay. All right. Well,
that's a yub nub. Are you? So you were just in here because you heard us talking loudly, and you had heard rumors that we were doing a podcast from here.
The person that's the editor of the newspaper sent me a message on Monday, which is sort of my day off.
Sorry.
Where do you want me to go now? But anyhow, somebody said, could Harriet stop by? And I said, well, I'm going to be here on Tuesday anyway.
Nice.
So
well, this is really cool. It's really a pleasure.
Thank
serious.
you for coming by. And we really have been enjoying the paper. It comes out tomorrow again, right? So we're gonna
tomorrow's Wednesday. Yep.
We'll be devouring it. Then we are big fans of local journalism and local media.
And the this group that's called Shakespeare. They do Shakespeare in the Park. They were here on the 13th of July and at Rosha Cree. They go to 17 parks in the whole state.
Wow.
All summer, and they did Love's Labor's Lost. Anyway, supposedly they're supposed to be on the front page of the picture that I took.
Oh, nice. So you're also a photographer for the paper.
Well, that's what I take pictures and I write some stories.
Okay.
But they say that I'm like an independent contractor.
Do you want to get a picture of us for the front page of next week's paper, maybe?
Well, it may not be next week, but I have to be in the picture because it's Harriet Sunday.
Harriet, honestly, that would only make the picture more valuable, I think, to collectors.
We're not getting any. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing, so I can add that to when people are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, we'll do it right now. So we are we're a podcast. Oh yeah, we got to get some note-taking materials for Harriet.
Right there if you need. And we got here.
Yeah, there you go.
I left my pens in the other room.
Okay.
Okay, I think there was an issue with the phone line for a moment, but we got it working again now. So we do have a call that we can go to.
Okay, we're going to take a phone call while Harriet's getting her note-taking set up, and then we'll...
Ahoy, hoy.
Hi, you're on TBTL.
Hey, guys, it's Ivan in Amsterdam.
Oh, my goodness. Ivan calling in from Amsterdam. Ivan, how are you?
I am quite well. How are you folks doing? I'm tuning into the live stream. You're on the evening news here.
We are the evening news in Amsterdam, he says. Not literally on the evening news, but we're effectively that because are you looking at us on your television, Ivan?
I am indeed, yes.
I saw some pictures of this the last couple of days of folks that are streaming the show, and I always just kind of picture it as they're streaming the show on their computer
or their phone.
But then people, of course, because we have the smart technology of the phones, they can watch they can basically watch what we're doing here on their television, their big living room television, which then makes me feel like we're doing a TV show, which makes me feel actually a little nervous. That's what you're doing in Amsterdam, Ivan?
Whilst enjoying my evening yakisoba, yes.
Good. How do we look?
In and out as far as the focus goes.
Oh, no, we're in and out? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Do you have any questions for Harriet from the local paper who does a column, Harriet Goes Places? Harriet's on the Move. Any questions about Adams, or friendship, the larger Adam County?
I guess I'm kind of more interested in the dynamics between you two right now. So I guess my question for Harriet is, what do you think is going on right now? What is this show? Who are these guys?
Okay, the question from Ivan in Amsterdam, Harriet, is what do you think is going on right now? What do you think this show is based on your 5 minutes of observing it and being on it? Yeah. What in the world do you think is going on right now?
I think it's kind of interesting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good. We'll take it.
I didn't know what it was, so I wanted to find out. So here I am.
Excellent. Ivan, is there anything TBTL related that you were looking to bring up or talk about or get off your chest?
Just a quick update on the Amsterdam contingent of TBTL.
Yes, you got what? Marshall is out there as well?
We got Marshall, we got Abby, we got Spencer, and a couple of us are going to be hitting the Amsterdam canals and doing a boat get-together this weekend. It'll be our first official gathering.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, a first official gathering of the TBTL-10s of Amsterdam. Is there a chance that there's anybody out there in Amsterdam that you haven't made contact with? Could somebody be hearing about this for the first time? That would be incredible.
I mean, I guess they have put out the homing beacon because we do have room for at least one more on the boat.
There's room for one more on the boat. I'm just repeating what Ivan is saying to the listeners who can hear Ivan. I'm just in the mode of repetition. So there's one more spot on the boat in Amsterdam in the canal. That sounds unbelievably picturesque, Ivan.
Yeah, and I was, one thing I deeply regret, and this would have, of course, been a huge ask of you guys, but one day it's obviously our dream to get you out here for a TBTL-a-Thon on the Amsterdam canals. And it just so happens that this year, this summer, they have this big boat festival that happens here every 5 years.
Goodness.
And next.
Well, it'll take us, Ivan,
It's happening in August next month.
It'll take us 5 years of fundraising to get airfare out there. So that would be perfect. We could be there for the next one, the one in 2030 maybe.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the 2021 got canceled because of COVID. So, fingers crossed that we don't have another global pandemic. But every 5 years. So hopefully we'll see you either next month or in 5 years and 1 month.
One of the two, definitely. Ivan, thank you so much. Say what up to Rachel, and we really appreciate you and all of the Amsterdam 10s.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
All right, you too.
Be safe out there.
So Harriet, if you hear me throwing this term 10 around, that's not some assessment of someone's looks or anything. All of these people are all tremendously attractive. I mean the people on the phone that we're talking to and the people who like this show. Although, yes, the people of Adam's friendship are also a handsome bunch. Mm-hmm. When we started out as a radio show, we were a nighttime AM radio show in Seattle. And she's taking a note, everyone. This is going into the paper, potentially. And we did not have a lot of people listening in the early days or in the later days or really in any of the days. But we used to joke that we said we had literally tens of listeners. And then one day, somebody sent us an email to the show and they said, I'm one of your tens of listeners. And we thought that was really funny. So that we started using that for the term for the people that listen to the show. And now a lot of the folks that like the show, they kind of call themselves the Tens. So if they're in Atlanta, they might call themselves an Atlant 10, or in Boston, a Boss 10. So it's that when you hear me throwing that term around or that number around, that's referring to anybody who's a big fan of this show. And this week, what we're doing here in Friendship is our fundraiser. We do one fundraiser a year. We do it for 1 week. We call it the TBTL-a-Thon. If you ever listen to the local public radio station, you're well familiar with what this sounds like. This is kind of our version of that. And our show is so associated with friendship because we're all friends and the listeners have become friends that we decided that it would be really fun to come to a town called Friendship. And it turns out there's about, what, 5 of them, John?
4. I think we found here.
Yes.
Yep. And
that's what we heard.
New York, and then there's also Maine, I believe, and then Tennessee, I think, is the other one.
Yeah. So there were a few different places we could go. We ended up here in Wisconsin because we've got a lot of listeners up in the Twin Cities and here in the state of Wisconsin. But we are here in Friendship in this room literally because we just wanted to highlight the fact that our show is about friendship. So that's how we got here.
And we were kind of Googling around, and this just looked like the most, kind of on the, Google Maps, and it just looked like the ideal kind of almost Mayberry-esque kind of downtown. I was very charmed the moment we put eyes on it.
Yeah. What do you think? How long have you lived here, Harriet?
Since 1974.
1974. Where'd you come from before that?
Evanston,
Illinois?
Yes.
What brought you to Friendship or Adams or wherever you lived? Teaching what? Oh.
Teaching. I taught in a 2-room school, 4 grades in one room. I taught 4 grades in one room in a 2-room school for 4 years.
Were you a Back to the Lander as well?
Michael was mentioning he was.
Back to the Lander.
Like, were you living a very rustic life when you were here?
I was living in a shack on the lake for
the
first 4 years.
That sounds pretty Back to the Land.
It was a hovel. No, it was just a little.
But you were
cabin.
teaching in a 2-room schoolhouse. Was that a public school?
Yep, it was one of these district schools.
Wow. So it must have been all the kids in the town.
1st through 4th grade. Well, it was actually north of town. It was 17 miles out town.
Wow.
So there were 4 grades. I had 19 kids in my first class, 1st through 4th grade, and then there was 5th through 8th grade in the other room.
Do you still see some of those kids around town?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
How'd they turn out?
Yeah, well, some of them are contributing members of society.
Hey, honestly, some of them is not a bad success rate. Not a bad success rate.
That's so great. Was that your first teaching experience too?
Yes,
Just like, wow, head first in such a unique situation.
Yes,
wow.
I loved it because I think that the kids, they're responsible. Of course, they were a lot of farm kids, and a lot of them had responsibility, and so if at home, and so then school was also, your job.
Sure.
But the little guys would learn from the older ones, and then some of the ones that had gone on, and like in 2nd grade, they're like, oh, now I get it. Now that they're in 2nd grade, so and then they helped each other. It was it was like a little family. Because there was like 30 kids in the whole school.
Did you end up eventually in a larger kind of building and schoolhouse?
The school was mysteriously burned in the middle of the night.
It seems a lot of mysterious fires around here.
1978. And then we combined with another 2-room school. The district had been trying to close those little schools.
No.
So we combined with another 2-room school. So then I taught 1st and 2nd grade. I was principal of that school and 2 years at the other 2-room school and taught 1st and 2nd grade. And then they decided to put the older kids in town, so then that school became 5th grade, so I taught 5th grade, and then I went to Canada for a year on a Fulbright scholar teacher exchange.
Wow. Fulbright?
Yes. And then
Look at you.
Yes. And then
I'm only half bright.
Yes.
And then
honestly, at best.
How many times have you heard that as a Fulbright scholar? How many times have you heard
that at all.
All right.
And then I came back and taught 4th and 5th and 6th grade in Grand Marsh.
How do you think about this place? It's got this really kind of iconic name, Friendship, and we understand it's a pretty small town, maybe around 700 people or something.
600 and something, yeah.
How do you think about the folks that live here? What about it is appealing to people, and kind of just what the scene is here?
A lot of retired people from, south.
Uh-huh.
come north because a lot of the houses in the, like out on the lake and stuff are those people.
Yeah, we're staying out in Quincy.
Oh.
Is that so? There's a lot of.
Where are you? And where are you?
Want me to give you the address? It's on Market.
Is it a cottage? No.
It appears to be a manufactured home that's got a few saggy parts in the floor. We learned, but yeah, it's out in that way where it looks like there's a lot of folks that have maybe second homes and vacation homes and stuff like that.
A lot of, and then Airbnbs. A lot of people.
That's what we're using.
Yeah.
Are you glad that you've spent 40 plus years of your life here?
Yes, I was. Well, I went to school in Southern Illinois, as far away from Chicago as I could go. So then I moved up here, and I've made, I've done a lot of things, and then made a lot of friends involved in the community theater. You must have passed by there.
Yeah.
And also the Sand County Players, which is a theater group, and.
So you act as well?
Yes.
What's your greatest role?
Okay. Wow.
Or what's a memorable role?
Well, I liked being Peppermint Patty when we did Snoopy.
That's great. That's awesome.
Which particular version of Peanuts or of that?
Because the first one was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. That was the very first show that the group did. Mm-hmm. And then it was 10 years later, and then they said, well, let's do Snoopy. And so yeah, Peppermint Patty was in there. Charlie Brown, everybody was in there. Linus. So yeah.
I love that.
Fun.
We're also kind of relatively close to where Charles Schultz got his start. I mean, we're in the region of the country.
Yeah.
So you guys probably have a spiritual connection to his work. Mm-hmm. Are you still directing and doing acting?
I haven't done. We did a show after COVID. We tried to do it for 3 years, but every time it was because of COVID and everything. So anyway, that was the last one. It was called Ice House, but they've done numerous plays since then. I just help with ushering and sell tickets and stuff. Mm-hmm. I haven't done directing.
Does the community turn out? Is this a pretty supportive community?
Yeah, there's a lot of people coming from Illinois that come up to see our shows.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of the
Sand County Players is the
Sand County Players.
And then the Adams Community Theater is another group because that was a theater that was built in 1946, and then was a video store, and then a group of us as a whatever that is, nonprofit.
Sure.
Bought the building because we didn't want to have another.
Is that the one
building.
that's next to it's 5 o'clock somewhere?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Everything comes back to that bar for us. It's not a great character reference for the show.
We were in town one day. And by the way, if you need to reach me, just call it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'll be over.
Call Andy over there. He'll get our guy on the line. Well, listen. As we wrap up today's show, and by the way, thank you for stopping by. This has been even if you don't find us to be newsworthy, no hard feelings. This has been a true pleasure to get to have you on the show and talk to you.
Yeah.
But do you have any questions for us? Is there anything that you'd like to know about what we're doing?
Yeah, like your names.
That's that's journalism 101. Well, my name is Luke Burbank, which is Luke. Yep, and the last name is Burbank.
I'm Andrew Walsh.
WALS?
H. Yep.
Wait, I gotta put checkered shirt.
Checkered shirt is Luke.
Yep.
Although here's the irony.
You can say handsome man for Andrew Walsh.
Wait. No, Harriet, you've got Andrew with the checkered shirt, but I'm Luke with the checkered shirt. But I'm gonna further complicate things by telling you that his partner, she made this shirt that I'm wearing, and she made it for him.
It didn't
quite fit. And then I was over at their house. Isn't it great?
She's really good.
I refuse to take this thing off.
He wears it around me all the time to make me feel bad.
It's just to rub it in. And then?
I'm John Sklaroff, Jon, and then Sklaroff. Yeah, it's a doozy.
All right.
You could say the other handsome one, I guess.
And the show is TBTL.net. If you just go to the website.
Is that,
like T.
Does their names, the initials?
It stands for Too Beautiful to Live.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that seems to even, I don't know, 4,000. Today was our 4,515th episode, by the way.
4,500.
Yeah. And even that many episodes in, it seems impossible to explain to people what Too Beautiful to Live means. So we just go with TBTL because it's a little simpler. Well, since 2008. So yeah.
2008, it started as a radio show. I wasn't part of it then. It was Luke and a different band of characters on the radio, and then became a podcast when they found out that the station was sort of restructuring the schedule, and essentially that meant they were canceling the show.
Here's exactly what happened. I was called into Rod Arquette's office. He was the program director. And he said, Luke, we are shuffling around some things in the lineup. We're doing some adjustments. And I said, okay. And he said, well, we're taking your show off the air. And I said, that's a bummer. What?
Like Steven
the other night. Right? Yeah. And then I said, well, Rod, okay, what are some of the other adjustments to the lineup? He said, it's just that. So
the adjustment
they were just firing us was the adjustment. And but we then just started doing the show from my house on the internet. And luckily, it was this very fortunate time where the internet was functional enough that you could do a podcast and people could hear it on their phones pretty easily, but there were not thousands and thousands of podcasts yet. We were kind of in the early part of it. So we were able to, bring some listeners from the radio show and then also attract some new folks that were just, if we were trying to launch this podcast right now, we would be in a lot of trouble because there's so much competition, but we were in the very early days. So we benefited from having no competition. And people had almost no other choices. So they were stuck with us. And now here we are all these years later. I think, what is it? I've been using the word 17. I don't know if it's 17
2008. Our anniversary is January 6th, I think.
Which is an auspicious day.
I could be wrong. Maybe it's January 7th, actually.
Please let it be January.
Strike that from the record.
Please let it be January 7th. Yeah. No, please.
I have it written down
That's
somewhere.
off the record.
But so it's 16, 17 years, something along the lines of that. Yeah. And I was a listener, by the way. I was a listener and a fan of these guys. And then I ended up moving to Seattle in, I think, 2012 or something?
Oh, my gosh. I just happened to check some of the comments on YouTube, and I have to say, I think it's Dana. Thank you, Dana, for that.
Oh.
Harriet, do you know that we have a billboard in town? We have had a billboard up for like a month in town out on Route 21. Yeah. It is it's a billboard of us. It's got the phone number of the show. It's right by, there's a little restaurant out there.
Is it out this way on 20?
Yeah, just past the Quick Trip. If you Yeah.
Yeah, and we're right next to Two Brothers, right where that billboard is. And it's obviously been very effective because everybody in Friendship and Adams has been not talking about it. Nobody noticed. Nobody noticed the billboard. But this is a picture of us standing in front of our billboard. Yeah.
We're sort of making a parody of like sort of a personal injury style billboard.
But
so that's been up there for like, I don't know, a month, and we just got into town like yesterday.
It's got our real phone number on it, and I'd like to be clear, we have received 0 phone calls to that number in the month that it's been up. I think John would know.
Mid-June it went up, and it will be up till about mid-August.
And so, if you did need to go somewhere to justify the column, you could go to the billboard. That would be going somewhere.
I just looked down at my phone. I am getting so many frantic text messages from listeners saying, "Don't forget the billboard. Tell Harriet about the billboard." We almost forgot
to tell you about the billboard. That would have been such a travesty because it was not cheap and it was supported by these donors, these listeners.
Exactly.
So anyway, well, if you don't have any, we could also chat. When this whole broadcast is done, like normal people do. But if you don't have anything else, Harriet, I guess maybe we'll look to wrap things up. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. That was so much fun,
Thank
Harriet.
you. What a pleasant
Thank you so
surprise.
much for popping in.
Can I just quick, Michael, the president of the Historical Society, wanted us to point this out in the history of friendship. And Chapter 4, the Friendship Gristmill.
Is this a volume 1?
This is volume 1.
Written by Dennis McFarlane?
Yep.
Okay.
In 1856, Luther Stowell and Willard Burbank erected the first gristmill on the Little Rocha Creek. Thank you, Rocha Creek at the base of Friendship Mound. So there's more in here about that, but
one of them was named Luther, and one of them had the last name of Burbank.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I think I might have some property out here I don't know about. I'm going to look that up. Check the old family tree. All right. Well, and again, shout out to Michael Gock and Jerry, who's been helping us out today, and everybody here at the Historical Society for letting us set up shop here for the week. Harriet, thank you as well. We really appreciate it.
That's great.
Also, thanks to all of you out there in listener land. And thanks if you've been able to support the show this week, or if you're about to. We do appreciate it. We couldn't be here in Friendship, Wisconsin, talking to local journalists if not for all of you supporting this thing. So thank you very much. Hey, we're going to be back here tomorrow. As long as things don't get out of hand tonight at It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Or at the Slip-In, which we've also been doing some recon on. Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. We'll be back here tomorrow with more imaginary radio for you.
Well, Harriet, do you have a car? Because we found ourselves a little bit trapped at a bar last night without a ride home.
We had to wake up the cab driver, Crystal, from a dead sleep, and she came and got
story.
us.
This is a
and
true
it was.
We'll tell you more later.
Yeah. It'll be your next assignment.
But we might need you later, is what we're saying.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. Take care of yourselves, and please remember, no mountain too tall.
And good luck to all.
Did we just become best friends?
Power out.